Fires are always fun. I remember back in the 70s when it was still the done thing to burn surplus straw in the fields. What an exciting time that was. Frightening, but exciting. Yes, it did get out of control sometimes, and that was alarming and dangerous. But the release of all this energy just from one match has always impressed me. Maybe it's something to do with my being repressed myself. Who knows? How are things here, I hear you asking? Well, I've still got the cold. Excuse me for a moment. And I'm trying to learn to spit without unpleasant noises, but I've got a way to go on that. How are things? We're not talking. I can live with that because I'm not chatty. But my wife struggles and she keeps on, I say trying, it's not really trying, it tends to be quite confrontational and then getting upset when she doesn't get a response. But there's nothing new there, it's really been like that all the time we've been together. It's probably worse now because she is talking less. And I am talking less, I admit. She's been pressing for going out, thinking perhaps if we go out in a different environment we can talk more easily. I have tried to point out that it just means we go out and we don't talk somewhere else rather than not talking at home. And it also means that when we have the almost inevitable scene, which we didn't have today, I'm glad to say, it means it's in public, which makes it even more uncomfortable for me, although it doesn't cause her any problems. So, at her insistence, we went out and spent a couple of hours in near silence. Doesn't really get any better, doesn't get any more comfortable. And certainly the communication is getting progressively worse. Not that it was good to start with, so that's not saying much. What else is happening here? Nothing much to see. There's a moon up there. It's been a chemtraily day today, but that's an area I don't particularly want to get into here. What's happening? I've been trying to clear stuff out to get rid of the accretion of, well, some of it's 60 years, but most of it's more recent, of possessions. I hope to get rid of some of my books. I have thousands of books, and I had hoped that I would find someone who would say, yes, I'll take them off your hands and give you this much, but it's not that easy. People want some of them and not others, which means I've got to sort through them, and I really wanted to do it just in one go, just get a shot of them, because sorting, photographing, sorting again, and then taking them somewhere is incredibly time consuming. I thought about charity shops, but it's too much to do in one go. They would obviously take what they were given, but again I wanted to do it in one go rather than spin it out a box at a time. And also my friend has she offered to try and sell some on eBay and tried to encourage me to get money for it, which isn't the aim really, I just want to get a shot of it. So that's stalled for the moment. Another reason is that I don't want to attract too much attention by there being suddenly huge gaps on the shelf and being asked awkward questions. Slow progress there. Timber, strange thing to say. I had a huge amount of timber, mostly, yes, the stuff indoors was all cabinet making timber, oak, ash, beech, maple, some fairly sizable pieces. My plan was to cut it up for firewood and then do what with it. Still haven't got room to store it. Again, my friend suggested I offered it to her landlord, which I did, and he accepted some of it. There's a lot more to be cut up for firewood, and then I have to dispose of the firewood. Everything takes so long. It's also an accumulation of power tools, which I'm not going to use now, which have value. But that means going through the onerous process of advertising and then packing them up and dispatching them if they sell. It's got to be done. I've got rid of a huge amount of paperwork, which has been satisfying. I've got payslips, or had payslips going back 30 years. Bank statements, not that long, but still 20 odd years, which I've got rid of. Again, quite satisfying. And a lot of other paperwork, which is just weighing me down. I wanted to get rid of it, but why am I doing this? Partly it is to, I admit, with the idea of making it easier to leave, because I don't want to leave my wife with a house full of my rubbish to get rid of. It's unfair for a start. Is what I'm doing self-destructive? Am I trying to obliterate myself? Maybe up to a point. But I'm not doing this with the same motive that I have done historically, which was really an attempt to obliterate myself. Here I'm trying to jettison baggage to make it easier, give me a clearer route to escape. Why should I worry about what I leave behind? Why indeed, it's a sense of neatness, not wanting to be a burden to other people. I don't know. It isn't, as I've said, it is less to do with self-effacement and more to do with just getting rid of things that I don't need, which are just weighing me down. And it's satisfying. The books were a big thing because I identify with the books. Some of them I've had for, well, most of my life, I think. Either those editions or they are replacements for ones I had at a much younger age. One of the reasons I wanted to do it en masse, getting rid of all in one go, was it's much less painful. Going through individually, I have to see what I'm getting rid of and what it has meant to me. Some I will try and keep. Some I have disposed of already, and I've thought to myself, I could have kept that, but They've got to go. I can replace them. But for someone who has spent his life hiding who he is, books have been an expression of myself. In fact, maybe the only expression I've ever had for most of my life of who I am. So it is painful getting rid of them. I've made a start. I've got a long way to go though. Time to turn the fire in again.